The Brinks Job was released in 1978. This is directed by William Friedkin. It's written by Will and Green, based on Big Stick Up at Brinks by Noel Bain. And we have a cast including Peter Falk, Peter Boyle, and various others. It's because of Peter Boyle that I became aware of this. And I was interested immediately because it's based on a true story and it takes place in Boston. I love Boston, and a true story about a robbery in the Brinks building in Boston. So I learned a little bit about Boston history there, which was quite nice. And I thought this sounded like it was going to be a really interesting narrative. And the educational aspect I did like. I don't know exactly how accurate it is to the events in the 50s. So if anybody has any thoughts on that, please feel free to let me know. I don't know if it's exactly the way it plays out. Wikipedia does tell me that it uses facts from the case, but there are details that are omitted. And to be honest, that doesn't surprise me. A lot of truth-based films do have some changes to make the narrative flow a bit better. I don't have a problem with that. But if you know if it's generally factual, I'd love to know that. But in general, it gave me an education. I really appreciate that. That part of it worked well. But I have to say, the narrative itself was really boring. It just felt really slow. I never really had an emotional response to this. I wasn't excited. I didn't think it was thrilling. I wasn't emotionally invested in the story, whether that's, I guess, rooting for the bad guys or wanting justice to be served. I just didn't have any kind of strong response to this. So I kind of didn't enjoy the actual story, aside from the actual education about the true events that it gave me. And obviously I'm taking everything with a pinch of salt because I don't know what's accurate. And it uses real names for the people involved. And again, I don't know how true they are to the individuals, but the characters seemed well enough written in the films. I'd say we had some good performances. For me, the issue is simply the narrative didn't really make me feel very much. That being said, I wouldn't say I felt bored either. I was just kind of going through the motions with watching it, analysing it as I was going, but never really feeling excited about it or thrilled about it or really even that bothered to find out what would happen at the end. So there's nothing about it that's badly done. I just didn't really feel anything. And fair enough, I'd rather feel nothing than feel bored. So it's not a terrible thing. I didn't mind watching it. But let's say, for example, Peter Boyle wasn't in it, then maybe I'd have liked it a little bit less. But at the end of the day, it taught me a little bit about Boston's history, this particular event in Boston, and I appreciate that. I do like that aspect of it. And apparently, according to Wikipedia, it was nominated for the Best Art Direction Oscar, which, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with it, but I wouldn't automatically say, wow, that part of it's Oscar worthy. But it's fine. So in general, if it sounds like it would appeal to you, then I'd say check out The Brinks Job. It is a watchable film, but in general, I think it could have been a lot more gripping, a lot more compelling. Obviously, if it's based on truth, if it is very closely to the true events, then they can only work with what they've got. But I still would have liked a stronger emotional response. But if you're curious, check it out. It's not terrible. It's not boring. I just didn't think it was as thrilling as it could have been. But I appreciate the education. The performances were good. And ultimately, if you want to watch it, then I guess I'm happy to recommend The Brinks Job.